it's the transfer window time, which, you know, for us, West Ham Way, really busy. To be honest with you, it's a really weird one, right? Working for the West Ham Way and working for X. It's busier when the football ain't on. It's remarkable. I don't know how it works, but I don't get a break. Can you imagine it at home? Do you know what I mean? My missus is like, oh, football season's over now. You get a bit of a break. No, don't get a break. In fact, I'll be doing videos. I'm on holiday. I haven't told her that yet, but I'll be doing videos on holiday. So, yeah, I'll save that little nugget. You know, maybe when she's had a wine or something, that'd be the best time to do it. But anyway, I'm moving off the subject here. Let's talk about transfers. It's because transfer window time, you get these rumours, you get these stories that are going to keep coming out because, let's be honest, that's what sells papers. This is what gets people clicking on things and clickbait, all that kind of stuff. So one big story that's running at the moment surrounding West Ham in terms of transfers. Not talking about Lucas Paqueta, by the way. I've done that earlier. You can go back and check that video out. I'm trying not to try and talk about that so much now. I'm going to try and keep a little bit quiet on it, really, because I think it's probably best to, and let's see how it pans out. It's going to keep developing that one. But in regards to transfers, Jarrod Bowen has been linked with a move to Newcastle. Apparently, and this has come from pretty top, reliable sources a little bit. It's going around doing its rounds. Is that this piece from the Telegraph as well, reporting it, and possibly the Times, is that Jarrod Bowen is Newcastle's top target for this summer, and they're willing to spend big money to get him to Newcastle. I've got to be honest, if I suspect there's truth in that, in terms of Newcastle wanting Jarrod Bowen. Why wouldn't they want Jarrod Bowen? Who wouldn't want Jarrod Bowen in their side? Let's be honest, he's one of the best forwards in the country in terms of, wingers in the country. He's bagged 20 goals this season, and he's getting better every season. He's in the England squad. He's a top player. We know that. Jarrod Bowen could go and do a job at Newcastle, Liverpool. He has got it in him. We know that. So let's not kid ourselves. We know how good he is. I just think there's a lack of homework here from Newcastle if this is the case. If Jarrod Bowen is a top target for that club, they're absolutely wasting their time. I just do not. There is not one part of me that's slightly worried about losing Jarrod Bowen in the summer, much like very similar to Mohamed Kudus, although that's slightly shifted on Kudus a little bit because of the Paqueta stuff. Just slightly, just a little bit, but not too much. I don't think we'll lose Kudus. I'm pretty confident we won't. But Jarrod Bowen, absolutely. There is no way West Ham would entertain any offers for Jarrod Bowen, unless it's, 200 million quid. Let's be honest, that's the only way. West Ham are not going to be interested in selling Jarrod Bowen. There's just no way. No way at all. For a start, he's just signed a contract till 2030. Just signed it. Signed a 7-year contract this season. There is no way he is going to walk away from the club at this stage. It's just never going to happen. I actually believe Jarrod Bowen will be here for the rest of his career. I genuinely believe that to be the case. I might be proven wrong. But the fact Newcastle are making him a top target, I find strange. I really find that one very odd. And people will, I'm sure, will say, and you probably might even comment on this video and say, contracts are meaningless, doesn't mean anything. It's just to get better. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It protects the club. But Jarrod Bowen, if that was the case, right, then why didn't Bowen just sign a 3-year contract or a 4-year deal? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? If your mind is, well, look, you want better protection, and Bowen in the back of his mind is thinking, yeah, but I do want a big move eventually. You wouldn't pen a 7-year contract. Who would do that? You wouldn't, would you? Because you go, well, actually, I'm tying myself in for a long contract here. He wouldn't have been entertaining it. I just do not foresee any issues with this. I don't think West Ham have got anything to worry about. Jarrod Bowen, for me, is definitely not going to Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle done their homework on it enough. I think that they are overlooking as well the fact that Jarrod Bowen is very settled in his personal life. And people might say that's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. It is absolutely not irrelevant. It's relevant. You only got to go back to last summer when you look at Declan Rice. Declan Rice could have gone pretty much anywhere he wanted. Man City were calling. And let's be honest, like, no disrespect. I'm not trying to be dickhead because people think I'm being a dickhead because of Arsenal, right? You get a choice of Man City and Arsenal. Man City win it because Man City are just born winners. They win everything. Do you know what I mean? Like if success is what's enticed Rice, right, and he wanted to lift trophies, then that was the club to go to. Yeah, fair. I mean, Man City have just won the bloody league, and all right, they didn't win the FA Cup final, but they've got some trophies. Do you know what I mean? But Rice didn't want to leave London because of his family, because he's very, very close to his family. He didn't want to leave the city, and he wanted to stay in London. So it does matter. Your home life really matters. We've seen players that don't settle in places and they want to move away because their families can't settle. Jarrod Bowen has got a family in Essex. You know what I mean? He has got twins. He is a dad. He's very much a settled human being in his life. There's no way he's uprooting this. To go to a football club, by the way, they haven't even got European football next season. They're not even in Europe. They're not even in the Conference League. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It's, you know, it's one of them that I'm quite surprised about, because I just feel like, you know, as I've said, for West Ham to even slightly entertain an offer for Bowen, it's going to have to be astronomical. All right, 200 million is maybe a bit extreme, but even at 150, it's going to have to be around that, isn't it? It's going to have to, for West Ham to really consider it. It's got to be a massive change for West Ham to go, right, we can now go and buy 3 top world-class players. That's kind of how the money it's got to be. But why would we get rid of Bowen? No way. Not happening as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a nothing story. I think that if it is Newcastle making Bowen top of the list, and I think they're really cocking up there. I think that is for a club that's got a lot of money to spend in terms of their, you know, not only for players essentially, but more they haven't really, if they've got to sell players because of FFP. But if you look at Newcastle in terms of players, people they can recruit at the club, back, you know, up in the office, etc., backroom team, then they're not doing very well. I've got to say, their homework at the moment. If Bowen is their top target, then there's some serious questions got to be asked. Because I'll be going, hang on a minute, hasn't he just signed a 7-year contract? Isn't he really happy there? And he's made it very. But Jarrod Bowen isn't talking about leaving West Ham. Even hinted at it. He's talking about wanting to be a legend at this football club. You know what I mean? He's heart, his desire. He talks about being a West Ham fan. You know, that he's living amongst fans now and feels part of it. I just think it's a nonsense story. And I think and this video is purely to put that, I pour water on it. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Jarrod Bowen, as far as I'm concerned, is going nowhere, and he'll be at West Ham for many, many years to come.